All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here on the Harmless Dave channel, talking about real music and doing it in real time for a few real people out here just like you, right there, and just like me here. I had another person say, please stop pointing. I like you, but could you not point? I may have to do like one of those polls where I ask people, should I point? Should I not point? I've been pointing a lot at people lately. You there, get off my lawn, kids. It's fun. It's fun. I couldn't do that like 5 or 10 years ago, but now I'm really comfortable doing that. Before I talk about yet again the Newsboys, folks, I'm gonna share this with you. Stephen McQuarter, who is such a good singer. If you haven't listened to Stephen, go check him out. Even if Christian music isn't your genre, this guy is a total winner. Come Jesus Come, and I also have a worship album. Together, they make for really good listening. Stephen is just really good. He's got a great story, a great testimony as well, which definitely is contrasting with this story about the Newsboys. So here's the headline. Newsboys dropped from major music festival amid ongoing Michael Tate scandal. Now, some may start to think that, hey, maybe this is too much punishment. You know, I started out with this as looking at it from the perspective that this is just going to be a knock on CCM and people are going to say, throw it all away. And there are YouTubers, Christian YouTube, they want CCM to go away. They want you to go to church and listen to traditional hymns because they're more theological. But this is what I call recreational Christian music. All right. Some of it really isn't, most of it probably isn't for the church. I mean, but I would say the level of focus on Jesus, what he said, who he says we are in light of what he did for us, which maybe is too much of a focus today. People put too much emphasis on how the Christian music interacts with how they feel rather than what it's just saying about the Bible or Christianity. Or, I mean, there are a number of different ways that you can interact with Christian music. You can listen to Christian worship music. You can listen to music that mentions Jesus or is pointing toward Jesus without being necessarily worship music. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. The people who come along and say, it's all bad, so what else can you listen to? You're just supposed to listen to old, theologically correct songs, which are fine. I mean, I like listening to hymns, but there's a lot of great music out there. And who says that, Christian music was limited to a certain time where you could only listen to this stuff that was created before this date, played, by the way, on certain musical instruments. I also tend to hear that a bit too, which sounds like legalism gone a little over the edge, right? So here's the story. The Newsboys continue to endure the fallout of the Michael Tate sex abuse scandal, with church leaders reporting that the storied CCM band has been dropped from another musical festival or a music festival. They were scheduled to take part in what's known as the Big Church Festival, a 3-day Christian music event in Sussex, England, featuring people like Phil Wickham, Brandon Lake, Elevation Rhythm, and others. So some big names between Wickham and Brandon Lake. That's right there. It's a big headlining show. But Facebook post organizers have revealed they have canceled their performance. And this is what they said. Many of you have been heard, or many of you have heard recently, the deeply troubling news involving the former lead singer of the Newsboys. They can't even say his name. Our hearts go out to everyone who's been hurt. Hurt? How about abused? See, I think what's happening too, I did this whole video about the religion of nice in Christianity. You're nice, I'm nice, we're all nice together. Isn't that nice? Being nice is not the Christian life. Okay, it's not. There's more to it than being nice. Being truthful, being honest, being precise when speaking. Everyone who's been abused would be a better line. Whether recently or in the past, we deeply respect the courage it takes to speak out in such a painful time. Okay, that's good. After thoughtful conversations with the Newsboys team and probably their rogue manager, who I think knew about this stuff for a while. Now, I can't prove that, but based on the things I've read and a lot of stuff going around Nashville for many years, it appears that there were people in the know about this, and they didn't have the courage to speak out in such a painful time as this. We know this may be disappointing, but we've decided the Newsboys won't be a part of this year's big church festival. Now, they've replaced the Newsboys with Pat Barrett, who is a much more current and legitimate Christian music artist at this present time. So basically, it's going to be a better lineup. You know, if they had the old Newsboys there from like the 90s, I would be all over that. That would be a cool event. But I think this name has been tarnished, and the reason it's really tarnished is because this goes to the management of this band. I've already done a video about this, and it's beyond just, one person doing really bad things. K-Love announced that they were wresting the band's music from their radio stations indefinitely. And the band itself revealed they've been dropped by their record label, Capital Christian Music Group. Now, is it fair to the new guys? They're not all new. They've been there for a while. But this new incarnation of the band without Tate, is it fair to them? I think it is fair, because I'm thinking their explanation of that they didn't know is just mind-blowing to me. What's one thing that is prevalent in Christianity today in Christian churches? What runs rampant as a sin that is out of control? Gossip, okay? Gossip. And I can't go to a church without people saying, hey, did you hear about what happened to Steve? No, what happened to Steve? Is he all right? Well, did you see that woman that he's hanging out with? And it's like, oh boy. And people are naturally into gossip, and it's a sin that needs to be dealt with because it's really out of control. It's bad enough that everybody else, with all this social media, anti-social media, it's designed for gossip. So you would think with all the gossip out there, that word may have spread about Michael Tate. Rumors, years ago. Because, look, we've been in the social media age now for, like 20 years? You would think this would have come to the fore, but it didn't. So that's one of the reasons I think these guys probably do need to be held accountable. By the way, I'm not encouraging gossip. I'm just saying it's a natural outflow. And this would have been more than gossip. This would have been truth. One of the conditions of talking about something is, does it have truth in it? In this case, it would have had some truth. And people would have probably maybe saved a few people from being victimized, but didn't happen. So in any event, pray for the victims of this. I would probably ask, not that I'm anybody, the manager of this band to just step down and not manage this band anymore, I think I would tell these guys, you know what? You need to start from scratch. All right. Create a new Christian band. Don't be Newsboys anymore. Um, if you knew something, repent, tell people about what you knew, change your heart, change your mind, get right with Jesus. Don't hold on to this because it's certainly not going to do anyone any good. Just get it all out there. I mean, I don't know. There are things that happen in the Christian world, and I'm amazed at the resiliency of things that I think are going to fall apart. Like the Daystar TV channel. Still going. It's like the Energizer Bunny, still going. Scandal, corruption, crazy theology. That doesn't matter. We're just going to keep going. People want to watch it. It's the same thing. It's like the people going to these concerts. They're just going to keep going. They're just going to. What happened to the Newsboys? I didn't hear anything. Oh, I just want to go see it. It's going to be great. Yeah. All right. Well, we should not be funding with our hard-earned dollars. We should not be funding people who look the other way when there is a scandal of this magnitude. So just a few words here. I'm not anybody special talking about this stuff. I do have Stephen McQuarter, who is the real deal. Check him out. He is just a great story. Let's hope that pray for guys like Stephen McQuarter that they don't end up like Michael Tate. I mean, there are many people that play Christian music who then go on to fall or deconstruct their faith. That's a new phrase, just renounce Christianity and so forth, or try to reason with a lot of the stuff that is sometimes hard to explain. And then you just say, well, I'm not going to do any of it anymore. I'm done. So it was all fake and it was all for the money. And that's why people get cynical and they think, hey, maybe there shouldn't be a CCM. Maybe there shouldn't be a CCM. I don't know. Maybe there just should be music. And if you're singing about God, it should be put on a regular radio station as a witness to those people. Because, you're basically preaching to the choir if you're putting your music on Christian radio. And there's nothing wrong with that because the choir needs encouragement. But you know who needs Jesus more? The people who aren't in the choir. All right? So anyway, I could keep going, but I'm going to stop. God bless everyone, and I'll see you soon.